And we got them in players only. So let's close the doors and get after it. Brinksy, welcome, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
That's awesome,
No,
man.
it's
Go ahead, Rupper.
no. I was just gonna say it's great having you on, man. It's just perfect timing. What happened yesterday? We did a breakdown of you earlier in our show too, and everything's coming up, Alex, to brink it right now. Just how's it feel? Like, I mean, this is you're back in your home neck of the woods, your home state. Is this a dream come true? Do you need to pinch yourself right now?
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty surreal. I think obviously playing for the Red Wings is childhood dream of mine, and to have the start as individually and as a team, we've had is pretty awesome, and I think we can just kind of keep the momentum going, and hopefully it's a fun year.
Yeah, great start for you, man. I love watching you play. Love the shot. We'll probably ask you just like your angle of your stick. Your stick is always on the ground, ready to shoot. It's pretty impressive that you always have it ready just to fire that puck. I have to be honest with you. I'm coming clean here. Last week I was on a show with Rupper, NHL Now, and they said the question was plus or minus, is DeBrincat going to lead the league in goals? And honestly, I said no. At the time, Rupper said yes, so I just want to say I'm sorry. You're doing a hell of a job. You come out there and you get a hat trick, so my bad. But yeah, playing in Detroit, how has it been? The fans, I know it's your home state, like Rupper said. How has it been the first 6 games of the season?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think the reception was obviously very warm to me coming home, and they've been great the first 3 home games we've had. So the building's loud, and I think that energy in there is something maybe they haven't seen necessarily in the past couple of years, and it's been fun to get some wins there, and really get them engaged.
All right, Alex, I want to know, though, the real thing is how many of your Victory Honda teammates where you played for, 4 or 5 years when you were growing up there? And how many of them been reaching out for tickets? Because visiting every once in a while is one thing, but now you're playing there regularly. And the second part I want to ask was at that time, and I'm big into the youth hockey scene in the Northeast, and was Victory Honda the team in Michigan at the time? Or because there's a lot of good youth hockey programs in that area.
Yeah. Honestly, not too many have reached out. I think I kind of set the precedent. Even traveling here is, everyone's going to buy their own tickets, and, you can come if you want, but I'm probably not providing them for you. So, but your other question, I think, Victory Honda wasn't really the team for my age group. I think, CompUR was great for my age group. And, when I went to Victory Honda, it was a good spot for me to, play a lot and learn from good coaches, and I had a great time there, but we weren't necessarily the best team.
Hey, way to set the tone with the tickets too, right? Heartsy, it's like you open that can of worms, you're dealing with that the rest of your career. So
smart
good job
move
with that as well. Yeah, very smart move. I do want to say to you though, we got a little video here, and I love watching this stuff. And it's I think you posted this a little while ago. It was awesome seeing the clips here of little Brinksy 97 wheeling around. I mean, hey, you got a good strong stride because you're skating through a lot of snow right there. What was this? Did you have an outdoor rink all the time growing up?
Yeah, my dad every winter would take the time to build me and my brother a rink, and obviously we didn't get a chance to shovel the snow off of it at this point, but it was just awesome. I think, having a dad that would do that for me and my brother, and just want us to have fun and play the game. And it was pretty awesome for me growing up. And obviously that video is pretty funny, but we had a lot of memories, me and my brother and my family, out there on that rink. And I think that's definitely a reason why I grew to love the game so much.
You know what? That's the beginning. It looks like right there, but I just kind of want to talk to you real quick about maybe another beginning, kind of when hockey took it to maybe a more serious level. I got off the phone with Sherwood Basson today, and I almost didn't make this interview because we know how those conversations go. But awesome guy to catch up with. He's, for the people that don't know, he was the GM and pretty much ran the show there for the Erie Otters for years, and that's my alumni, and you had so many great years there. I started asking him about you and kind of, the relationship and kind of, getting you to Erie. And he said that he was up, how he talks. He's like, I was up in northern Michigan and the
Yeah.
rink was freezing cold. I'm like, hey, Bass, like, let's get to the point here. Like, what'd you see from the kid? You know? And he's like, I don't wear socks, so I was really cold in this rink. And anyway, so he gets to the point, and he's like, I see this kid, and we're scouting, and I don't know where he came from. But I found out, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. He was basically like, this kid can play, man. And no one else, he didn't feel like anybody else was really seeing you at that moment. And he doesn't understand why. And it just kind of seemed like the perfect storm for him. And he said he kind of went up to you, and I think you had some commitments, or at least your mind was more going towards the collegiate level. And he basically was like, what he's telling me was, we want you here. And the selling point is you can play with Connor McDavid. And everybody knew who Connor McDavid was at that moment. Can you take us through that and those emotions at that time and your decision making?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. I think he came down to the locker room after the game and pretty much tried to sell me. He's like, you want to play with Connor McDavid? And obviously I was committed to UMass Amherst at the time, so it was a big decision to kind of decommit from there and go to the OHL. But ultimately, me and my family sat down. We actually went and visited Toronto to meet with my agent at the time, Jeff Jackson, and then Sherry kind of met us there and went through what he could provide for us, and we ultimately chose that was the right path for me. But it's funny hearing him tell that story. I've probably heard that a couple times, and I'm sure it's the same every time too.
So behind closed doors here at the NHL Network, we call this show NHL Meow. Well, a few of us do. Me and LG Red. I love cats. I think she does too. So the perfect guy to have on here. So I want to talk about your nickname. I'm assuming it's the cat, but do guys have fun with you, like kitty litter, kitty cat, anything like that?
A lot of kitty cat. I feel like early days in Chicago, that was kind of the one that stuck for quite a while. I think Siebes started calling me that for a while, and it caught on. And cat or kitty cat. I think Ole Mata was in Chicago with me a little earlier in my career, and he's one of the guys in the locker room that still calls me a kitty cat. So
do you like cats? Do you like cats?
No, I'm not a cat person. I'm very allergic to cats, so I stay away from them. So I'm more of a dog guy. So stay away from the cats.
Well, if you keep scoring like this, I think there's going to be a lot of cats named Alex or DeBrink or something like that in Detroit soon. But I want to go back to Chicago. You just brought up a few times. That's where I'm from originally. Wonderful city, amazing food place, huge in the food scene. I want to know, and I know you're young and maybe not old enough to get into certain establishments, but I want to know how much you enjoyed that city and were you able to really get out in some of your favorite places. I lived in Old Town and Lincoln Park. Where did you live? What was it like for you there?
It was awesome there. It was, such a good experience for me as being a young guy and, kind of learning the city. My first couple of years, I lived in Streeterville, so right by Navy Pier. So I'd get, downtown to River North all the time, hit a bunch of different restaurants. And then a little bit later, I moved out towards, Lakeview, Roscoe Village, a little bit closer to Wrigley Field and out there. But there's so many good restaurants. But I think my first couple of years, I was big into Sunda. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that was a huge spot for me. It was I would be there at least once a week, so I had a pretty good relationship there, and that's probably one of my favorite spots to go visit again.
Good food choice. Very good food choice.
Hey, Bracey, I was one of the times I saw you in Erie. I was like, I had some buddies like, hey, check this kid out. He could shoot the puck. It's pretty magical with Connor and all this. And I think you guys are playing like Sault Ste. Marie or Oshawa. And there was like a defenseman on the other team was like 6'7", and I see you cross-checking him, and you're trying to fight him. I'm like, this kid's nuts. Like, he's got a little gumption behind him too. So I remember telling Weeksy before you went to Chicago, I'm like, hey, watch this kid. He's scrappy. You start scoring goals. You don't need to do that. We don't want to see you do that. But we got some clips here. We got some pretty good runs so far when you have to drop the gloves in the NHL. And I think we kind of added up. It looks like you're a little 5-0 right now, buddy.
Yeah, I try not to get into it too much, but back then I was just, trying to not be scared of anyone and, kind of really not get bullied around by anyone. So, yeah, I try not to do it as much, but you know, when the time comes and I'm needed, I'm not scared to do it. But yeah, try to stay out of the penalty box as much as possible.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you love to chuck them. I love that. So when I finished playing, retired, you're out of the game. I'm out of the road trips. I love the road trips. I love getting on the planes. So I got to ask you, are you a card guy? Are you a gamer? And if so, who's the worst card player you've had against in your career? It's got to be Claude Giroux if you're one of those guys, or Kane or one of those guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big card player. I think, you know, luckily for me, I got into the card table pretty early in Chicago and was able to stay there for a while. So, but yeah, I think G's probably the worst. He's definitely gonna be mad at me for saying that.
Oh,
But
I love it.
yeah, him. You know, I think Raymond now he's been struggling the past couple of days. So we'll stick with those two guys.
Perfect.
Oh, there. I just want to know, what's the best piece of advice you got, whether it was before you made it to the NHL or from somebody in the NHL? You know, smaller guy, it's not like you're the first smaller guy to make it in the NHL. There's been a nice run of it, but is there one guy that resonated, said something to you that really resonated?
You know, maybe not one specific, but I think, you know, I think just a pretty cliche one, but it's like working hard. I think that was kind of the thing that really, you know, brings you to that next step. And I think, you know, I got a piece of that or I got a glimpse of that in Chicago, you know, playing with all those guys that have won 3 cups and, you know, you're there as a rookie and they're on the ice 45 minutes after practice, still working on their game. And, you know, Kaner and Taves were big at that point, and you know they've won every award they could possibly win, and you know they're still out there working, trying to be the best. And I think that was a big learning point for me. You know, it's never enough. You don't be satisfied, and I think you know there's always more work to be done. So I think those are you know some valuable lessons, and I think I definitely learned that early in my career.
Hey, Alex, just a probing question here. When was the last time you spoke with your boy Patty Kane?
Yeah, we texted
No,
every
no,
once
no,
in
you
a
don't have
while.
to answer it. You don't have to answer that. We know you know the rumors. All the rumors are out there.
Yeah.
We'll keep listening for all that, but you don't have to answer that. We'll get to a part of the show where we have you. What were you thinking? Is what it's called, and you're basically
Okay.
captioning this. Okay, you're gonna look at some pictures, and right here. Do you remember this picture? Do you remember this moment?
Yeah, that's my first NHL goal. I think you know, it was against Carey Price, so that was a pretty cool moment for me.
Oh,
You know, from Sharpie, you know, a Chicago legend, and you know, it was just a very cool moment for me, and obviously, you know, one I'll never forget.
not bad, fellas, huh? Carey Price, first one.
Not bad at all.
Nope.
Now, what else do we got here? We got another one coming up here for you. Oh, Tom Wilson. You said,
Or are you thinking
what
of
are
the
you
way
thinking there, bud?
I don't know if I remember that one too well, but yeah, I'm sure maybe I poked the bear a little bit too much and obviously found out. So you know, I try to erase those memories from my mind and stick with the good ones.
Yeah, a lot of guys have
Right.
been on the wrong side of those hits for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is for sure. But there's one big player in that, right? Kind of, it looks like you got the best in that one, but then you got another one right here, another big player that looks like you walked around in an outdoor game, the Big Z. What are you thinking there?
Yeah. That was just such a cool experience. I think my first outdoor game. So you know, and obviously to play against the Bruins is definitely a cool matchup, and you know, to play at Notre Dame was fun. But yeah, I think that was just a cool experience all around. We didn't necessarily win, or we didn't win, but you know, it was a cool game for us, and I think that's definitely a game I'll never forget as well. I think not many guys get to experience that, and it's definitely fun.
Did it bring you back? Did it bring you back to those days like what we saw earlier? I mean, it's unique, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's the best version of hockey you can get is being outside and you know, just having fun. I think that's why most people, you know, grow to love the game, and I think that's definitely a core memory that I have.
Oh, well, this is a core memory I have from the All-Star game. This was fantastic when you dressed up and got involved in the skit there. That's with Derek
Yeah.
Carr And how take us through the decision making? Who came up with this stuff? You got Alan from The Hangover, obviously, but who came up with that?
Yeah, so I think the NHL kind of brought that to me. Asked if I wanted to do it, so I just figured, yeah, why not? And it's pretty cool to do that, and obviously to have Derek Carr there for the Renfro. It was pretty cool to do that, obviously in Vegas. So their home team, and they got some cheers there too.
Was Carlos all right there, your baby?
I hope so.
Took good care of him. Good care of him. What about you got Halloween's around the corner? Just do you have any favorite teammates that dressed up, and who's some of the guys? Are you one of them? Do you got any big plans for your team party?
No, I'm not a huge Halloween guy, so I tried. I think I've been, some sort of basketball jersey the past 6 years. So, try to stick with something easy. And, but there's been a couple good ones. I think, some guys go all out. I know Brady last year, he's got the theme of, Will Ferrell characters. So, those are always good. And I'm excited to see what he is this year. So, those are always fun.
Like you see some of the boys, I remember some guys were spending like $3,000 on a professional makeup artist coming to their house. I'm like going, I'm just making something at home. So some of the guys go all out. What else do we got here?
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Tigers.
First pitch, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely cool too. I obviously grew up watching the Tigers, and kind of my first real homecoming interaction with the fans and stuff like that. And I think that was fun day for me and my family to enjoy, and tried to throw a strike there. So didn't put too much heat behind it, but got it over the plate. So that's all that matters.
Michigan or Michigan State? Which one? I mean, where was your allegiance?
Yeah, both my parents went to Michigan State, so I'm gonna say Michigan State. But honestly, I don't really care that much. Obviously, I didn't go to college, so I don't have too much allegiance there. But I would probably say I'd stick with both my parents there and go with State.
I just gotta say I'm a little disappointed you didn't go back to the mound to throw that pitch.
They actually didn't let me on that.
Oh, they
one,
didn't.
so,
Okay, I figured something was up with that.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't let me. I did one in Chicago for the White Sox, and I didn't go on the mound. And then I obviously got chirped by all my teammates. So I did one for the Cubs a couple years later, and I went on the mound. So I didn't catch as much heat. But yeah, they didn't let me on that one. So maybe they didn't think I was strong enough to get over the plate from there. But it's still pretty cool for me.
Last one we got for you. It's a picture of you and your own Carlos on the boat. It looks like you're having a time there.
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously summer is a great time to spend time with family and having Archie. Kind of the first summer we really get to do anything, and to be on the boat and him enjoying the weather and just being out there with him is awesome. I think he's someone who always puts a smile on my face no matter what he's doing. And, he's a blast to hang out with.
And speaking of Archie, I believe he was at the game on Saturday when you got your hat trick. That must have been pretty unbelievable, no?
Yeah, for sure. He was, in warm-ups, I got to say hi to him and his first game in Detroit. So we got to get him more games, but yeah, it's awesome. He actually left after the second period, so he didn't see the third goal, but he was there for most of the game.
Right on.
That's awesome.
That is great. Memories forever. But you keep making those memories. Keep doing your thing. It's fun to watch. We appreciate you swinging by Players Only, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys.